So good to see you today. Please be seated. Hey, I love you too. Good to be here with you. I'm very excited. Let's sit down. Let's get acquainted. What do you say, okay? All right. My name is John, and I'm your friend. On the count of three, give me your name. 1, 2, 3. Nice to meet you. I'm so excited about being here today with you. It's such an honor to be with your company, and you have such a wonderful organization. Aren't you proud to be part? You have good leadership. You're doing good things to help a lot of people, and you're just really making a huge difference. And I'm so excited to be here. I'm going to ask if my light people, could you do me a favor and turn the lights up a little bit in the auditorium? I would like to, this is going to be so good. Could you turn it up a little bit more for me? Because the more you turn it up, the better they look. I've had some audiences where I ask them to turn the lights down. And said, keep going down. But look at you. Look at this. You look wonderful. Wow. We're going to have so much fun. We're going to learn something now for the next hour, and we're going to be able to do our business better and live life better. I'm just thrilled. I spoke yesterday evening in New Orleans, so I jumped on the plane and came in here this morning, but I've just been looking forward to being with you very, very much. Now, could we keep the lights up? To the crew. I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, just keep them up. That's good. Good. And the reason thank you. I want the lights up for a couple reasons. I want the lights up in the auditorium. In fact, if you can get them any higher, please do that for me too. The reason I want the lights up, first of all, is I want to see you, because look at this. Let's give them a hand. Come on, let's give them a hand. This is beautiful. I want the lights up so I can see you. I want the lights up to see who my family is, okay? And then I want the lights up because you're going to take notes. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm here to train you. I'm here to develop you. It's going to get better. Just trust me. But at the end of this hour, you're going to have some notes and things that are going to just absolutely be life-changing for you, and that's exciting to me very, very, very much. In fact, look at your neighbor and tell him, say, you're about to learn something. Go ahead and tell them that. That's good. That's good. Hey, in fact, look at that person and say, why do you think I brought you here today? Now, let me just give you 1 minute of background. I have my wife Margaret and I have been married for 54 years. We have 2 children. We have 5 grandchildren. Grandchildren are God's gift to you for not killing your children. And if you have grandchildren, you know that's the joy of your life. I was with all of our grandchildren and their parents the other day, and I was telling our grandchildren how much better they are than our children were. And it's really true. In fact, they're much better, much better. And of course, the grandchildren are just loving it and beaming, and it was going really well until my son said, well, of course, your grandchildren are better than your children. He said, because they're our children. Well, that's the last time I'll talk about that. Let me just have a little fun with you for a minute, and then we're going to teach hard. You get wisdom when you're 65, okay? You just do. I'm so sorry. Some of you have a long time to wait, I can see. But you do. You get 65, and all of a sudden you begin to understand things that you just didn't understand before. And one of the things you understand is life. You just understand life. And so I'm going to read something to you for about a minute and a half. And this is going to explain life to you. You've never had life explained to you like this, but when I'm done, you're going to say, oh, John gave me some of his wisdom, okay? So here we go. Just kind of fasten your seatbelts. On the first day, God created the dog. God said, sit all day by the door of your house, bark at anyone who walks by. I'm going to give you a lifespan of 20 years. The dog said, that's too long to be barking. Give me 10 years and I'll give you back the other 10, and God agreed. On the second day, God created the monkey. God said, entertain people, do monkey tricks, make them laugh. I'll give you a 20-year lifespan. And the monkey said, how boring. Monkey tricks for 20 years? I don't think so. The dog gave you back 10 years, so that's what I'll do too, okay? And God agreed. So on the third day, God created the cow. God said, you must go out in the field with the farmer all day long, suffer under the sun, have calves, give milk to support the farmer. I'm going to give you a lifespan of 60 years. The cow said, it's kind of a tough life. You want me to live for 60 years. Let me have 20 and I'll give you back the other 40. God agreed. So on the fourth day, God created man. God said, eat, sleep, play, marry, enjoy your life. I'll give you 20 years. Man said, what? Only 20 years? I'll tell you what, I'll take my 20, add the 40 the cow gave you back, the 10 the monkey gave you back, the 10 the dog gave you back. That makes 80. Okay, God said, you've got a deal. Here comes the wisdom. So that is why, for the first 20 years, we eat, sleep, play, just enjoy our life. For the next 40 years, we slave in the sun to support our family. For the next 10 years, we do monkey tricks to entertain the grandchildren. And for the last 10 years, we just sit on the front porch and we bark at everybody that goes by. You've just had life explained to you. Isn't that fun? Wow. Let's talk. If I could have each one of you, if I could just have you one-on-one sit around the table with me right here, and we could just have a one-on-one conversation. And you'd look at me and you'd say, John, I really want to do well in this business. I mean, I love it. I'm doing good, but I'd like to do better. Maybe I'd just stop here for a moment and ask you, how many of you would like to improve and do better in your business? Huh? Okay, good, okay. Just want to make sure I was talking to the right crowd. And you said, how can I do that? I mean, you've got a little time. Talk to me about how do I improve myself, build my business, help more people. How do I do that? Well, if you would ask that question, I would do the teaching I'm about to give you, because this is life-changing. I will promise you, for many of you in this auditorium, things are just about to change for you. And they're about to change for you because you're going to discover, you're going to learn, you're going to be able to apply something that is just going to help you to get better. When I help people succeed, and I had a lady the other day say to me, John, the reason you're so successful is this. You're very successful because you help people become very successful. And that's really what I do. I've been doing this for 50 plus years. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you because you're such beautiful people and you really want to do well and you deserve to do well. And I'm going to talk to you about what I call everyday essentials, okay? I think the best way to start this teaching is to illustrate it, okay? Let's say that I have a tree in my backyard and I want to cut it down. And let's say not only do I have a tree in my backyard that I want to cut down, but let's say that I've got a good sharp axe and to cut that tree. So I go out every day and I pick up the axe and I go to this tree, the one I want to cut down. And all I'm going to do is swing five times, just 5 times with the axe. And then I put the axe back, and the next day I go back, and I go to the same tree every day. And interestingly enough, all I do every time is swing 5 times, just 5 times. And I put the axe down. But I do it every day. Same tree, same axe, every day. Now, if I go out and I do this every day, let me ask you a question. What will eventually happen to the tree? The tree will what? It'll fall. Now, since I'm only doing it 5 times a day, or 5 swings, I mean, if it's a big tree, it may take a couple years. If it's a small tree, maybe a few months. But here in your life, in your business, the business you're here right now, there are 5 essentials that if you do every day, you will become highly successful. And I'm going to give them to you. In this little story that I just shared, the first thing, if you want to be highly successful, is you have to know what you want to accomplish. The second thing you need to do to be highly successful is you need to have the right tool. Now, the right tool is an axe. I take that sharp axe every day. Now, what would happen instead of me picking up an axe, I picked up a baseball bat. And I took that baseball bat and I went to that tree every day and I just swung 5 times with that baseball bat. Now, we already know there's a problem. And what's the problem? I have the wrong tool. You see, it's possible for people that work very hard never to be successful because they have the wrong tool. It's not how hard you work, it's how smart you work. So number 1, I have to know what I want to accomplish. Number 2, have to have the right tool. Number 3 is I have to take action. What do I do with the axe? I go to the tree that I want to cut down and I swing 5 times. I take that axe and swing 5 times. Now, what would happen if instead of taking the axe and going out and swinging on the tree, I just picked up the axe and went back and sat on the porch and held the axe? And I thought, man, it's amazing what could happen to that tree. In fact, here, take a picture of me holding the axe. I want to put it on my refrigerator. I want to put it where I can visually see it because I have the axe right here. This is huge. Now, we all know there is no success without action. You see, the problem with so many people is they have the dream, but they don't take the journey. You see, the dream is free. The journey's not. That's why people love to dream. You don't have to do anything with the dream, just stick something on your refrigerator. But the moment that you decide that you're going to take the axe and you're going to go out to that tree, now all of a sudden, the work has begun. There is no success without action. So I have to know what I want to accomplish. I have to have the right tool. I have to take action. Number 4 is I have to stay focused. I have to stay focused. So what happens if I go in my backyard and I get the axe and I look in my backyard and I see another tree? And I said, oh my, that tree needs to be cut down too. So I go over there and And wow, the next day I say, never thought about that tree. And the next day I go, oh my gosh, this one's got to go down. And now you understand the problem. I'm not focused. I'm distracted. You see, if this is what I do, every time I see a tree, I'm never going to cut the tree down. I'm just going to have a bunch of scarred trees. People come to my yard and say, I've never seen a yard like this. Oh my gosh, look at all these scarred trees. Are you an artist? No, I just can't stay focused. You got to know what you want to accomplish. You got to have the right tool. You have to take action. You got to stay focused. And number 5, you have to be consistent. You got to be consistent. But did you hear how many times in this little story the word every day? Every day. Every day I get the axe. Every day I go to the tree. Every day I swing 5 times. Every day I stay focused. Every day. That's why I call this everyday essentials. Consistency compounds. This is huge. It compounds. A lot of people, when they get excited about a new job or what they're doing, they go for intensity all day. I'm not going for intensity, I'm going for consistency. I would rather you do the right thing, the 5 essentials every day for a little while, than do intensity for a week and then quit. Consistency always beats intensity, every day. So what we're going to do is we're going to look in a moment at your business, and we're going to ask ourselves, what are the 5 things that you really need to do every day to be very successful in the business that you have? This is huge. Now, let me just explain for a moment. I'm an author. I write books. I've been writing since 1979. I've written 90 books now. I had a lady the other day said, "You've written 90 books?" I said, "Yeah." Well, she said, "You've written more books than I've read." And really, let's just kind of relax here for a moment. Think about it. If you've written 90 books, the only thing that means is you're old. Huh? Come on, talk to me. If you're not old, you can't write 90 books, okay? But then people ask me, they say, "How did you write 90 books?" The power of 5. There are 5 essentials in being an author that are essential. Every day. Every day. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, and every day I write. Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Guess what I do every day? Every day I read, every day I think, every day I file, every day I ask questions, every day I write. Somebody came up to me when I was doing this one time, and they said, "Now, what do you mean by every day?" See, what I mean by every day is every day. So I said, "Now, when you say every day, every day. What do you do on your birthday?" Guess what? Every birthday, I read, think, file, ask questions, write. What do you do on Christmas? Every Christmas, I read, think, file, ask questions, write. What do you do when you're on vacation? Every day I read, think, file, ask questions, right? What do you do when you're sick? Read, think, file, ask questions, right? It's the 5 essentials. You see, I could never be a successful author unless every day I read, think, file, ask questions, right? It's not an accident. Those are the 5 essentials. That's what allows me to be where I am. They recently told me that I've written more leadership material than any person that's ever lived in the history of the world. And I thought, I was kind of excited about that too until I realized again, you got to be old. All of my accomplishments now are based on old. You know what I'm saying? So what I do is I help people understand what their essentials are. Now, did you notice I said every day, every day, every day, every day, every day? Not one time have you heard me say all day. I didn't say all day. I said every day. I didn't say I wrote all day. You never heard me say that. I just said every day. I read, think, file, ask questions, write. Now, for some days, that could be almost all day for me when I'm really heavily writing a book. But for some days, that may mean I only do 30 minutes of reading, thinking, filing, asking questions, and writing. Are you with me? But the key is every day. When you can put, okay, we're going to really start teaching now. When you can put consistency with priorities, when you prioritize your life very well and you're consistent in following up on those essentials, that's why I call this everyday essentials. When you can do those 2 things together, this begins to be absolutely ridiculously off the charts. It just does. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to share with you in your business, in the network marketing business, I want to share with you 5 things that if you do every day, I will promise you, you'll get a good return out of it. I just promise you will. So there are 5, you've got 5 essentials, and you're going to learn them, and you're going to practice them, and you're going to get better, and you're going to improve, and you're going to build your business. And that's why I'm here. This is very exciting to me. So look at your neighbor and say to them, you're just about to get better. Just about to get better. Yeah. In fact, look right back at them and say, that's what we're all praying for. There are 5 things that are essential that matter in your business. And I'm going to give them to you now. And here's what's exciting. Every one of you can do this. Some of them you're already doing, but it will improve your life. Number 1. And they're not in order of priority. Number 1's not more important than number 3. But there are the 5 essentials of your business. And number 1 is personal growth. Your ability to develop yourself, for you to grow yourself, is absolutely essential. And the reason that it's important is because your business cannot get any bigger than you are. So when people say, well, how do I grow my business? I said, well, you grow your people. You cannot give what you do not have. But the moment that you personally grow yourself, you expand your potential for learning and for applying and helping others. So it all begins with you. So the first investment you ought to make in you is you. And that's not selfish at all. You make that investment in you, in personal growth and development, because if you get bigger, you can build a bigger team. You can build a better team. When you get better, your people get better. People do what people see. That's a fact. You see, my life was changed when I was in my middle 20s, and I had a mentor. We were having breakfast, and he asked me if I had a personal growth plan, and I did not. And he said to me, John, growth is not automatic. What he told me that day is, you don't automatically get better. You just automatically get older. Wow. How true that is. This is life-changing. And so I said, well, then I've got to find a personal plan for growth in my life. I've got to learn. I've got to I've got to grow myself. How am I going to do that? And for the next 6 months, I had asked my friends, do you have a personal growth plan? I had no friends that had a personal growth plan. And then I realized people go through life thinking that they will automatically get better if they just go to work every day. One of the things I'm passionate about teaching is how to live an intentional life. Because everything worthwhile in your life is uphill. Everything. Your dreams, they're all uphill. The hopes you've got, they're all up. Everything worthwhile, it's all uphill. It's all uphill. I shared with you that Margaret and I we've been married for 54 years. That's uphill. That's uphill. You don't coast to greatness. You never hear a successful person being interviewed and they ask him, how did you get to the top of the mountain? And you don't see that person say, oh my gosh. Ooh. Wow. I have no idea. This is huge. I just woke up and here I am. You're not on top of the mountain, you're on drugs. You only got here to the top intentionally. It's not an accident. No one ever drifted to a desired location. So here we go. You have to be intentional. Everything worthwhile is uphill. The challenge is, here's the challenge. The challenge is this. We have uphill hopes, but we have downhill habits. You cannot go uphill with downhill habits. And one of the downhill habits that people have is they think that success should come easy, success should come quickly, that they ought to be able to put a little bit of effort and get a big return. Huge, huge bad habits. And the first thing you do to be successful is you determine that you're going to every day improve your personal life. You're going to grow. You're going to get better. Now, I'm so passionate about personal growth. I've been doing personal growth. I was about 25 when Kirk Kampmeyer at breakfast told me this, and I'm 76. So for 50 years, I've been every day growing and learning, and this is amazing. I'm so passionate about it. When we had children, I put all of my children on personal growth plans. Now we have grandchildren. They're all on personal growth plans. My father, when I was in the 7th grade, I'm the middle child. I have an older brother, younger sister. He put us on a personal growth plan. In the 7th grade, he looked at each one of us. He said, now, I'm going to require you to read 30 minutes a day. And I will select the books that you read. And I will pay you an allowance for reading books. And so he picked the books out. Whatever he bought the book for, that's what he paid us. And so from the 7th grade through high school, every day, my brother, myself, my sister, we're reading 30 minutes a day, all the great success books. By the time I graduated from college, I had read How to Win Friends and Influence People every year, 6 times, and I'd taken 2 Dale Carnegie courses. Now you have to understand, all my friends, they didn't get paid to read books. All my friends got paid to do chores. In fact, I went to my dad and said, you know, all my friends, they get allowance to do chores. I think that's a good idea, don't you? He said, that's a terrible idea. He said, I don't pay you to do chores because you do chores because you're part of a family. And I don't pay you to be part of a family. He said, let me explain it to you like this. He said, by the time you were born, you already owed your mother for 9 months of room and board. So he said, shut up and take out the garbage. And then he said, why would I pay you to take out the garbage unless I wanted you to grow up to be a garbage man? I put my money where my values are. Life-changing. By the time my brother graduated from college, he was already a millionaire. By the time I was 28, I had the 10th largest nonprofit in the country. By the time my sister was 27, she was in charge of a whole floor in a hospital. These aren't accidents, folks. My father made sure that he got the right stuff in us. He made sure that we were growing, that we were learning, that we were expanding our life. And it just becomes it becomes life-changing. You see, a growth environment looks like this. A growth environment is a place where other people are ahead of you. This is huge. In other words, you want to be around people that are bigger, smarter, and faster than you. You don't want to be the head of the class. In fact, if you're at the head of the class, you're in the wrong class. Get out of that class. Because you're the head of the class, you're just going to tell everybody how good you are. So you always want to be around people that they're just, they're beyond you. They're ahead of you. A growth environment is a place where you're out of your comfort zone. Where every day you get up, you look and say, oh, I got a mountain to climb. Remember, everything worthwhile is uphill. And by the way, everything that you need in life but you don't have, the reason you don't have it is because it's outside of your comfort zone. If it was in your comfort zone, you'd already have it. So you got to jump the fence. You got to do something you've never done before. You've got to go somewhere where you've never gone before. Wow, this is huge. I heard Earl Nightingale, I was still in my 20s, and he said that if you would spend 1 hour a day, every day, on the same subject in 5 years, you'd be an expert on the subject. I thought, man, I'd like to be an expert in leadership. So I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to spend an hour every day for 5 years on the subject of leadership, and that's what I started doing every day, an hour. Everyday essentials. I'm just talking about this. This is huge. Every day. I read about leadership. I practiced leadership. I asked questions about leaders. I had leadership experiences every day. 1 hour, 1 hour. And Earl Nightingale said, in 5 years, I would be an expert on leadership. So I started off with a countdown. I thought, okay, he says 5 years. And, I thought I was Cape Canaveral, 5, 4, 3, woo, in a few years, I'm going to take off. I'm going to be an expert. And about right in the middle of that 5-year period, I quit asking myself, how long will it take? Because that's what countdown people do. How long will it take? How long? Well, 5, 4, 3. Because all of a sudden, the practice that I was having every day for 1 hour about leadership, I was beginning to learn to lead better, and I was starting to build a team, and people were starting to follow, and we were starting to build a business, and it was starting to get a lot better, and I saw I was growing, and I saw my people were growing because they were watching me lead, so they knew how to visually lead. And so about 3 years into this process, I quit asking, how long will it take? And I changed the question to, how far can I go? How far? How far can I go? And by the way, at the end of 5 years, I wasn't an expert on leadership. That was a trick. Because after 5 years, was I a better leader? Of course, but you see, if you grow, what you do is the more you grow, the more you know you don't know. And the more you know you don't know, the more you know you need to grow, because you don't know all you need to know. So you say, I know I need to know all I got to know, so I've got to grow so I know more. So the more you know, the more you always know you don't know. The only people that are experts are people that think they've arrived. This is huge. And I'm still growing. I'm 76. I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still writing new lessons. I'm still doing new teachings. I'm still going and learning in new places. This is huge. Now, I want to promise you, you need to constantly continually, passionately, every day, grow and improve your life. It's just fantastic. I've got several books to write because I keep writing. I'm writing 3 books right now. But one of the books I want to write that's in my line, it's in the queue, it's going to be called "Is There a Finish Line?" It's a huge question. And it's a question, that's the title of the book, because for some people the answer is yes, there's a finish line. They say, when I make so much money, I'll finish. When I get a certain age, I'll finish. And they put what I call self-imposed finish lines. Now, if that's your life, that's your life. It's not my life. But if that's your life, that's your life. I just want you to know that when you have a self-imposed finish line and you crossed it, you're finished. My name is John. I'm your friend. What part of this do you not understand? I know a whole bunch of people, they're already dead, they just haven't made it official yet. I was having lunch with my dad when he was 92. He worked full-time through his 95th year. And he said, we were having lunch, he said, look at me, son. He's 92. Always growing, always learning, always improving. At 92. He said, son, he said, I've been thinking about it. He said, I think my best days are still ahead of me. He's 92. He's 92. I know people 22 who can't say that. You can only say your best days are ahead of you because if you're growing, because the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better than today is that you're growing today. So the first essential, we got 5 of them, but the first essential in your business is to continually grow, continually learn, continually develop. I wrote a book called The Power of 5. Everything I'm teaching, you can pick up out of that book. I'm sorry, we sent a QR code, but somehow it didn't get here, and so that you could get the book. But how do you get the book? I don't have a clue. Just go to our webpage and ask for The Power of 5. They'll get it to you. Okay, number 2. The second essential. Here we go. The second thing to build your business really well, growth not only matters, but connecting with people matters. You need to really get good at relationships. Relationships are the foundation of leadership. In my 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, I talk about the law of connection. Leaders touch a heart before they ask for a hand. I talk about the law of buy-in. People buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. So what you need to do in your business is always make sure that you're connecting with your people, that there's a great power in proximity. Relationships are so essential, as you know, in this business. So, how do I do that? There are many simple things that I teach in this area of connecting. The first thing I would just say to you very quickly is the fact that you've got to ask yourself, am I a plus in people's life or am I a minus? Okay? If you're a plus in people's lives, it means you add value to people. If you're a minus in people's lives, it means you suck life out of people. And I'm always interested in people that are in the people business like you that aren't any good with people. It always confuses me. I meet people and they tell me they're in the people business and I look at them and I say, dear God, you have got to be kidding. I mean, some of you don't need to be in this business. Good night. You need to be a toll booth operator. You just need to be in some cubicle by yourself that nobody has to talk to all day. Oh, happy day. I mean, There are people, a lot of times, I just look at them and they're not good with people. And I just want to take them to lunch, buy their lunch, say, my name is John, I'm your friend. I just want to tell you. People don't like you. You know who I'm talking about. I mean, every one of us, they just walk into the room. And there's a lot of people in the room, so when they walk in the room, you say, oh my gosh, I hope they don't see me. And then they see you. And they start coming close to you. And you said, oh no, oh, help me, Lord, help me. Help them, help us, help someone, help. Take me, Lord, take me, Lord, take me. Take them. How many of you have been at, like, you're grocery shopping and you're pulling your cart and you get down to the end of the aisle and you look about 2 aisles over and you see somebody you don't want to see. It's one of those people. You with me? And that's the bad news. The good news is they didn't see you. So, hey, how many of you ever done this number? How many of you ever hidden from somebody? Come on, talk to me. Come on, talk to me right now. Sure you have. How many of you are hiding from somebody right now? You just, huh? So how do we develop our team to be plus people? It's very simple. There are 5 things I do every day. 5 things to add value to people. They're so simple. You can practice them. It doesn't take long. And it will make you a Pied Piper of people. Every day. Number 1, I value people. I just value people. You say, now who do you value? I value everyone. You say, wow, everyone? Yeah. Now, I'm a person of faith. I'm not trying to put that on you, but the reason I value everyone, I had a person the other day say, well, you don't even know me. How can you value me? I said, it's very simple. God created you. If God created you, it's not complicated. He values you, I value. So every day I value people. Number 2, every day I think of ways to add value to people. You see, I knew I was going to talk to you this morning, so I jumped on the plane in New Orleans, and I pulled out my iPad, and I began to think of what I wanted to teach you and what I could say here. I'm thinking ahead of the people I'm going to meet, saying, how do I add value to them? So every day I value people. Every day I think of ways to add value to people. Number 3, every day I look for ways. I look for ways to add value to people. And here's what's beautiful. If ahead of time you think of ways to add value to people, you'll see ways to add value to people. Every day, number 4, I do things. Every day I do things that add value to people. I make sure that I do things that add value to people. And number 5, every day I encourage other people to add value to people. I do that every day. I value people, think of ways, look for ways, do things, encourage other people to add value to people. I do that every day. It's so simple. It is so incredibly life-changing. Practice it. You can do it. It's every day. So it's so true that how we connect with people really matters. It's just obvious. It's just so true that if we're growing personally, it really matters. These are essentials, everyday essentials. Let me give you number 3. And by the way, as I get ready to give you number 3, let me just say what a delightful audience you are. You're delightful. You're taking notes, you're smiling, you're with me, you're leaning in. I needed you yesterday in New Orleans. I may have to have you travel with me for a few days. Just kidding. But you're so hungry to learn. You're so beautiful in your attitude. I can see it, and it's just fun. What beautiful people you are. What a beautiful company you have. Okay, now let me give you the third essential, because there's 5, and we're only on 2. But before I give you 3, are you learning something? Okay, look at your neighbor and say, I'm learning something. Go ahead and tell son, I'm learning something. Look right back at him and say, you still have 3 to go. You're not close yet. You're not close yet. Let's get a little closer. Number 3, the third everyday essential is mindset. How I think, how you think. Mindset matters. This is huge. Wow. I am going to give you a book to order. This is a life-changing book. It's called How Successful People Think. I talk in this book about 11 ways that successful people think that are different than unsuccessful people. Because the greatest gap between successful and unsuccessful people is the mindset gap. How we think. It's absolutely huge, the difference in how we think about ourselves, how we think about what we're doing. For example, you don't have to believe in me for me to be successful, but I have to believe in me. And you have to believe that I believe in me. So I know a lot of people that family maybe don't believe in them, or friends say, oh, that'll never work, you won't make it. I mean, how many of you had people, as you got into the business, they said, oh, this isn't going to work? I mean, how many of you know what I'm talking about? Of course you know what I'm talking. But you can be successful without other people believing in you, but you can't be successful without you believing in you. And so this, thank you for that. Well, it's all right. Don't press it. Don't press it. It's all right. Don't press it. I'll say something maybe better, and 5 or 6 will clap next time. And let me just say this. It's important for you to choose to believe in yourself, and it's important for you to choose to believe in your purpose. You've got to have personal belief in you, and you have to have purpose belief in what you do. And you have to put them together. And if you don't put them together, it won't give you the return you want. For example, if I have low personal belief, I don't believe in me, and I have low purpose belief, I don't believe in what I'm doing, I won't even get started, okay? Now, if I have high personal belief in me, but I have low purpose belief, in other words, I really believe in me, but I really don't believe in what I'm doing, I won't continue, I'll quit. People that quit, what happens is that they have low purpose belief. Now, if I have low personal belief, but I have high purpose belief, what will happen is I'll do the business, but I won't be great in the business because I don't believe in myself enough, so I'll never reach my dream. But when I have high personal belief and high purpose belief, and I put them together, then all of a sudden, everything changes. So, there's so much. I could talk to you for all day about mindset, how we think. But one of the things when I teach is I talk to people about their attitude, their mindset about failure. Because a lot of people really get tripped up with failure. And I'm just here to tell you that in fact, I just wrote a book. I wrote a book, and I've already finished the manuscript, but I'm not putting it in yet because I'm writing another book that I want to get in front of that book. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It happens to me all the time. In fact, I was talking to God the other day. I've got 13 more books to write, and I'm 76. I said, you have got to let me live a long time. So I wrote a book. It'll come out in about a year, but it's not going to. Called How to Receive a Return on Failure. I just love this book. It's How to Receive a Return on Failure. And I was going to, but because of where we are in our country, I'm writing another book right now that's going to come out next March or April called High Road Leadership, with a subtitle, Bringing People Together in a World That Divides. So I had to bump the return on failure. But they're coming out. Just relax. Live long enough, you can get them all. But in return on failure, one of the things I teach people is, now this is huge, you got to keep failure and success together. And people don't do this. What people do is they want to remove themselves from failure as fast as they can. So in our culture, people say, succeed, don't fail. Oh my gosh, do it right. Oh, don't do it wrong. Hey, don't mess it up. Make sure you got it. And we divide success and failure. Success and failure is not supposed to be divided. It's never been supposed to be divided. And it doesn't work when it's divided. You got to put success and failure together, because success needs failure right beside it, and failure needs success right beside it. And here's why. Because that's the way our life is. You don't go through life and say, oh my gosh, this month has been huge. All I've had is wins, no failures. It's just woo. Or, no. Don't we have good parts of a day and bad parts of a day? Don't we have wins and losses? I mean, I don't go through a day without a win or two and a loss or two. I mean, you got to keep them together. And the reason you got to keep them together is this. Okay, let's say you're on a roll. You got a couple days, you're just kind of kick it and you're successful. You got to keep failure right beside that success, because when you really start doing good, if you're not careful, you can get arrogant. But if you keep failure right beside success, it gives you humility. Because Bill Gates said success is a lousy teacher. It makes people think they can't lose. You keep failure with your success, and you have a humility even in the middle of your success. And by the way, when you're not doing good and you're in the ditch and you're messing up and you're having some failures, you got to keep success right beside it, because if you keep success by your failure, it will give you resiliency. And you'll say, oh my gosh, this wasn't a real good day, but guess what? I'm going to get back up. I think I can do it again. Now see, this is all about mindset. And it's so essential for you and me to always understand that the mindset that we have is a choice. That's why when people have a bad attitude, I never feel sorry for them. Dear Lord, they got a bad attitude. The only thing I think is I want to get away from them. Yeah. Because your attitude's a choice. You chose it. When my daughter Elizabeth, when she was growing up, she'd have a bad attitude. Dad, I said, baby, honey, you got a bad attitude today. You're kind of raining on our parade here. It's time for you to go to your room. Stay there. Only come out when you change it. I don't know how long you're going to stay, but we'll slide food under the door. It's a choice. Attitude, mind, it's all a choice. Whatever attitude you have right now, you chose. That's why when people have bad attitude, I just look at them and say, change it. I had to. But the moment that you begin to understand that how the attitude just shapes everything in your life, it's huge. Okay, I'm so sorry. I got to go to number 4. You see this? What I'm giving you is like a 4-hour lecture. And I'm giving it to you in an hour, but I can because they told me you were smart. If I'd have done this in New Orleans, it would have been a 2-day seminar. The fourth, you are good. You're a good crowd. I am taking you with me. Get ready to travel next week. Okay, here we go. Number four, the fourth essential you have to have in your business is leadership. Leading matters. You got to learn how to lead. Wow, that's huge. You got to learn how to lead. Why? Because everything rises and falls on leadership. End of story. It's just been true for centuries. It's true in government, it's true in business, it's true in education, everything. In your business here, the people that will build the biggest business are the people that are the best leaders. Everything rises and falls on it. That's why I give my life to leadership. That's why and what causes leadership to rise? Good leadership skills and good values. That if you have those two things, you have good leadership skills and good values, your leadership will rise, your company, your business will rise, your team will go up. And what causes it to fall? Bad leadership skills or bad values. Either one will cause it to fall. Because of time, I wrote a book called Developing the Leader Within You 2.0. In that book, I give you 10 things that you need to work on and practice on to be a great leader. And I would just encourage you to take some time with you and your team and do some leadership teaching and do a little, read together, but 10 things to help you. But let me illustrate it this way. In my 21 irrefutable laws, I'm just curious, have any of you ever read the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership? Oh yeah, well, the people that raise their hands are truly the great leaders right now. It's the best-selling leadership book ever written. Millions of copies. Okay, here we go. In there is the law of the lid, L-I-D, and the law of the lid says how well you lead determines how well you succeed. That's true. So let's say I'm an average leader. From a 1 to a 10, 1 being low, 10 being high, I'm an average, I'm a 5. So watch me very carefully. So I'm an average leader, so this hand represents my leadership lid. I'm a 5, which means I have the ability to take my team to a 5. Now, if this is my leadership lid and this is my team or my business, what that means is I'll get to this level, this lid, and I can't go any higher. So if I'm a 5 leader, I'll have a kind of like a 4 organization. Doesn't matter what company you're in. Doesn't matter what direct market. Doesn't matter. That stuff doesn't matter at all. If you're a 5 here, you'll be a 5 somewhere else. You're a 5. So if I'm a 5, I'll be a 4. Now, when I do Q&A, sometimes people ask me the question. They'll say, "John, are leaders born?" And whenever they ask me the question, "Are leaders born?" I always give them the same answer. Of course they are. Think about that question. Are leaders born? I think so. I've never met an unborn leader. Don't particularly want to. Thank you very much. Now, what they're asking, they're not asking are leaders born. They're asking when people are born, are some of them people they got it, and if they got it, they go to the front of the line, and if they don't got it, they go to the back of the line. That's what they're asking. Now, here's what's incredible. You can learn to lead. You can improve your leadership. You can improve your leadership. I know that. We have the largest leadership training company in the world. We've trained 6 million leaders in every country in the world. I got this down. So if you're a 5 as a leader, but you start to grow as a leader, you can take your lid from a 5 to a 6 to a 7. Maybe you can get it up in a couple years to an 8. Now, the moment you lift the lid of your leadership in your life, what do you do for your team? What do you do for your business? They just go from a 4 to a 5 to a 6. You see, you lift your lid to build your business. The better you lead, the more that you can get accomplished. Oh, you got it. You're so smart. I got to give you number 5. The reason I've got to give you number 5 is my time's up. It's okay. It's all right. Hey, it's all right. Aren't you traveling with me from now on? Okay. Let me give you the 5th essential, because it's so essential. And I won't have time to talk about it today, but I'll just give you one little thought, just give you a minute thought, and then I'll get off the stage because you got other important things to get accomplished. The last thing, the essential in your life is significance matters. Significance matters. Wow. And let me just explain significance to you. Success is what I do for myself. Success is the homes I have, the plane I flew on over here today. It's my stuff. Success is about me. Significance is about others. And let me tell you something. I know a lot of unhappy, successful people. They got all the stuff, but they're not happy because they're living for themselves. But significant people, people who give their life, the only reason I'm here today is for significance. I'm not here for success. Good Lord, I've already had a lot of success. I'm not here for money. I already got money. I'm here because I want to add value to other people. And you show me a person that is significant, and I'll show you a person that has a smile on their face. They're very fulfilled. You want to make sure one is too small of a number to achieve greatness. Selfishness and significance is not compatible. I had a lady the other day come up to me and said, I just want you to know I'm just not a selfish person. And I looked at her and smiled, and I thought to myself, no, you're a delusional person. We're all selfish. We all have selfishness in it. Come on, talk to me. Are you all right? We all got that. If you don't think you have any selfishness in me, let me just ask you the question. The next time somebody takes a picture with you and your friends, and they show it to you, who is the first person? That you look for? And if you look good, you say, oh my gosh, great picture. Hey, send that to me. And if you don't look good, you say, oh, do it again, 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 do it again. Of course. But for you and I to live our life for a bigger cause than ourselves gives us significance. And that's what I would wish for you. I would wish you all the success in the world. That's why I came. But when you get that success, it's not about you. It's all about others. And do remember this. My name is John, and I'm your friend. Thank you much.